I'm not sure if that picked right back up or not. That's why I turned it back on. I was afraid it would cut it in two. Okay, if you're the high priestess, star, sun, you may be be sending communication in some way that's exposing so the King of Cups is studying a message that you are exposing some information which is going to send the Knight of Swords rushing into the King of Pentacles, which is what the King of Cups would like. And that way, the King of Pentacles will be the one that's judged, and that will remove any interest that the Empress may have in the King of Pentacles to be lovers. Or the King of Cups is going to talk to you and expose that the Knight of Swords, often police or something like that, has gone into the King of Pentacles, which is what they want, which will keep the Empress from going with the King of Pentacles. So these are grown men. Who are happy, okay, and they may have reason to be, who knows. King of Pentacles is in reverse over here. So this would make sense then. Okay, looks like the King of Pentacles is going to be in trouble from something that has been exposed. The King of Cups is happy about that because the Empress will not take him for her sweetheart. Okay. So, I wonder if the King of Cups has plans for the Empress. And if so, he's pretty happy about the situation of the King of Pentacles being removed. So we will find out more about the King of Swords now. Actually, I want to find out the King of Cups. I want to find out his intentions towards the Empress and the Empress High Priestess. Okay. I don't know how long this is going to be. I may have to stop it because I'm not sure how long my video will go. But if it stops, I'll just pick up where we leave off on the next one. So the King of Cups. What are your intentions towards the High Priestess, Empress, Star, which of course is my collective? King of Cups. Why are you so happy that the King of Pentacles is not going to come in? because he wants to be the lover. Oh, he has no defense against judgment. What are your intentions with the Empress, High Priestess? Oh dear, that's so many. Wait, 4. Well, the King of Cups is happy that the King of Pentacles is not going to be able to come in to you because he can't come into you. He has no defense for what he's done. He's under judgment. He worked with the devil to sacrifice and make you have to recuperate and feel sad and leave sorrows behind and create a tower. And he used all his tools to bring that together to steal from you and make the decision to work on it. So he's going to have to choose a new path, and he doesn't want the King of Pentacles to have that option either. Well, okay. So that's how that went. I was kind of hoping by picking them apart we would find and we may yet find some positive motivations. We had the King of Swords reversed. The King of Swords is wanting to give money to the Queen of Wands in our last read. Queen of Swords up, King of Swords upright, someone who uses their wit, their intelligence, their words, their education, their insight, their intuition to run their life, to make decisions, and they generally have some kind of authority over others. In the reverse, they're cranky, they're mad, they're angry, they're hateful, they're full of words that tear down, and they're not usually looking for a solution. They're looking just for anyone to blame and lash out at. So this is the person that's wanting to bring some money to the Queen of Wands. King of Swords. Now I keep saying Queen of Swords, so King of Swords, King of Swords. What is your story? What are your motivations? What are your plans? Why would you want to give money to a Queen of Wands? Oh. These are my plastic cards. They're kind of heavy, but they're nice. King of Swords. King of Swords cannot complete a cycle. So he sent a message to the Queen of Swords. I think she was out, yes, earlier. His world is upside down. King of Swords, Queen of Swords, message. King of Swords, Queen of Swords. Ah, fiddle-dee-dee. Fiddle-dee-dee. Defend me, help me carry my burdens. I'm not interested. You need to look inside your own little self, says the Queen of Swords. Figure out why you're so contentious. Ooh, I don't know. You need to, why you're so free and easy with the truth there, it looks like. With your love for the High Priestess. Whoops. Out here acting like the Knight of Pentacles. One more. Oh. One more, please. One more. One more, please, about the King of Swords. Well, King of Cups came up, but so did a whole bunch of other people. All right. The King of Swords world, for some reason, is upside down, and he cannot complete a cycle. He cannot complete what he wanted to do, which was to give money to the Queen of Wands. So he sent a message to the Queen of Swords, a relative of some kind, asking him to defend, or maybe his attorney, asking for defense and to help carry these burdens, but the Queen of Swords is not interested. She's telling him he needs to examine his self and apparently he's been acting in a Five of Swords, hateful, just taking everything for no good reason, creating problems way. And he needs to examine that and tell the truth. Or to cut the good from the bad, to clean up the truth from the lies about his offer of love, little offer of love to the High Priestess. And offering money to the King of Cups. Offering money to the King of Cups, who we just saw was trying to create all these disturbances. I think the Queen of Swords is telling him, you don't need to be going and offering her love. since you gave money to the King of Cups to create all that problems. She's probably telling him he does not need to make that move. Look inside. It'll just be more problems. You need to cut out this idea because you gave money to the King of Cups to create all this. You've already been involved. You need to stop. Way to go, Queen of Swords. You do have some good advice there. So, if this is you, we have just found out several men that you should not trust. And the Queen of Swords, I don't know. She's up in the middle of them, and they're all running to her for advice. So they probably all are interconnected in some kind of way that requires them to run to her for advice. If you know, we would like to think she's an attorney, but she seems pretty glommed in there. Next, the Queen of Wands. They wanted to give you some money for what? And how do you feel about that? They wanted to give you money, and how do you feel about that? And what is your part in all of this? How do you know these people? Queen of Wands is someone who's entrepreneur, business. She makes things grow. Sometimes a plain dresser, more practical than showy. And here in this one, we have two. So the two pyramids, two big hills, sand dunes, whatever you want to call them. And so she's more associated with the mind and the body. All right, let's go. And the cat symbolizes her use of intuition. Watching. She probably does do some cat and mouse games too. All right, let's see what the Queen of Wands has to say. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. Holy Spirit, Holy Angels, what can we do about the Queen of Wands? Well, that was quite a few. I usually don't take them, but I did. What can we know more about this Queen of Wands? Looks like she's waiting for a return on investment. She's chosen a new path. That she's separated work. She's receiving a message of things being exposed. She's receiving a message, and the Hangman talks about being still and receiving message from the divine. And also sacrifice and waiting, tied up, unable to move. I'm starting to think the Queen of Wands and the Empress and the Star may be the same. Same person, just viewed differently by different men. But let's see. What about this Queen of Wands? What about this Queen of Wands? Or she may be in the same position as the Empress was. One, two, three, four, five, six. Oh, wait, I may have got way too many. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9. Here we go. Right? Yes, okay. And these were the three that were with it. Smoothing the cauldron waters, displaying strength. Okay, so the Queen of Wands is waiting for a return on her investment. She chose a new path, and she cut the good away from the bad. She saw the truth. She started working on perfecting her job, and she got a message and a download that exposed that people from her past were helping each other to create burdens and stab her in the back as far as a lover is concerned. And look, it was the Hierophant. And what the Queen of Wands needs to do is to leave her sorrows behind, be strong, and go find that ninth cup. Okay. So it looks like the Queen of Wands was some kind of a victim, either along with the Star, or these people, the King of Swords and King of Cups just saw her as a sexy Queen of Wands. I hate to even put her over there with him. Okay, so we have these four. And I'll tell you what, folks, I need a break. I need to regather myself. Sometimes this is sad. This is in the Wind Tarot. You're going to have to look for part 2, or depending on how my pause earlier went, maybe it'll be part 3. Thanks for watching. I'll be back in the Wind Tarot.